Prep 2022 Information Evening. The purpose of today's information session is to give you further insight into what your child's journey through Prep will look like. You will hear from a number of speakers today that will guide you through some further information around our uniform standards, curriculum, as well as some key dates and information you'll need to know for the beginning of the Prep 2022 school year. I hope you find this information valuable in helping you prepare for your child's very first days of school here at Marymede.
As we gather this evening, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri people. We acknowledge and offer our respect to their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this region. We pay respect to the elders both past and present of the Kulin Nation and extend that respect to the other Indigenous Australians.
We are grounded in the gospel. We are maternal. We nurture. We love and we are hopeful. We gather children around us. We show mercy and we forgive. We are bridge builders. We are faithful, joyful, and resilient. At our heart is God. We bring Christ to our learning.
Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God and each other. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. May each encounter we have today and tomorrow and every day be reflective of Mary's way, loving and with dignity. May we recognize opportunities for joy, be present in each moment we have with another. Do Mary's work in Mary's way.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Let it be done according to your word. Mary, our good mother, pray for us, and let us always remember to pray for one another. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
This is what a day looks like in Prep. We begin the day with a soft start. Your child can be dropped off any time between 8:40 a.m. and 9 o'clock. They will wave goodbye to Mum and Dad at the prep door and come into the classrooms to unpack their bags. Their lockers will be labelled with their name, and there will always be plenty of help around if assistance is needed. During those first few weeks of school, your child will come into their classroom and engage in some developmental play. This is a perfect opportunity for them to get to know their new classroom and their new peers. During period 1 and 2, the students will engage in our Initialate program. Students will have the opportunity to build their reading, writing, and speaking and listening skills. At 10 a.m, the students have a fruit break. They continue their learning while snacking on some fruit. This short snack time gives their busy brains a boost to get through to recess. At 11 a.m, the students break for a recess snack. Then it is time for some playtime outside with their friends. During the middle block of our day, students will engage in maths. They may also have a specialist subject such as Italian, Visual or Performing Arts, or PMP. These subjects are taught by a specialist teacher. Students may also have PE during this block. PE is taught by their classroom teacher. At 1:30, it is time to stop and have some lunch. Then it is time to head back outside to continue building those connections with their peers through play. During the final block of our day, students will usually engage in religious education or inquiry learning. Our inquiry learning is developed around students' interests and involves lots of opportunities for hands-on learning. In a prep classroom, there are 26 students. There are 5 classes in total within the prep house. Each classroom has 1 teacher. There are also 3 learning support officers who roam between the classrooms to support students with their learning. In prep, we love inviting special visitors along to our classroom and to our school to share in our learning. At the beginning of the year, students are assigned a Year 6 buddy. On a fortnightly basis, the preps and Year 6s get together to enjoy some lunch, to engage in some learning together, or to share in some of our special celebrations throughout the year. In prep, we love to invite our families along to special events too. We celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day with a special assembly. We also celebrate Easter by holding a special Easter bonnet parade. Students are invited to decorate a hat using lots of Easter craft materials. They then showcase these hats to their peers at a special assembly in the fitness centre. In prep, we love reading books, and so Book Week is one of the most exciting times for our prep students. During this week, students engage in a number of exciting literacy-based activities, such as author visits, and of course their favourite thing to do, Dress Up Day. Students are invited to dress up as their favourite character from their favourite story. 100 Days of Prep. On this day, the prep house is decorated and so are all the classrooms. Students are invited to dress up as someone who is 100 years old. They also engage in a number of craft activities around the prep house. We also like to take the celebrations outdoors and hold a special parade for our buddy classes. We also get to use the school drones to take a photo of our prep students sitting in the number 100 formation. I hope you enjoyed this little snapshot into prep and are looking forward to all the excitement 2022 will bring for your child. You will now hear from our college principal, Mr. Michael Kenny.
Hello to our 2022 parents and prep students. And time is moving quickly, and we're planning and looking forward to our intake of prep students for next year. I hope the first GUS session that you had late last term proved successful in terms of getting you to start to feel a part of our school community. And Marymede is about a school community, and the quicker we can get your sons and daughters into our community, understanding what it's like to be a student at our school, the easier that transition is going to be. And that's what these sessions are all about. They're about helping your sons and daughters transition into prep at Marymede, and also for many of you who are first-time parents at our school, it gives you the opportunity to have a greater understanding of what we are about as a Christian and Catholic school, first and foremost, and that we really value that partnership between school and home. That's the core of what we're about at Marymede, us working together, because the stronger that connection, the easier that first year at primary school is going to be for your child. So I hope the GUS session goes well today. I know there's a lot of information that's going to be presented to you in terms of what you need to do as a parent in planning for your son and daughter coming to our school, and that is so exciting. They're finally coming and being ready for school, and they will be ready for school. That's our intention, and we look forward to seeing you in the flesh at some stage. in the near future. Take care and keep safe. Bye for now.
I would now like to introduce you to Mr. David Broadbent. He will talk to you today about college expectations around uniform and grooming.
Welcome to Marymede Catholic College. We're so glad that you chose Marymede Catholic College, or if you're a current parent, that you are continuing to send your next children to Marymede Catholic College. My name is David Broadbent, and I'm our Deputy Principal, Staff and Operations across the entire school, prep through to Year 12. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about uniform and some aspects of our community as well. Our uniform at Marymede has a different uniform in the primary school, which you can see there on the left, versus the secondary school, most of which you can see there on the right, though you can see there is a younger primary school sibling there as well. We have a summer uniform that's worn during terms 1 and terms 4, and a winter uniform worn during terms 2 and 3. Students also have a separate PE uniform on the days where they have their PE class and on other special sports days as well. And you can see in the photo there as well that students are required to purchase their house colour polo top, the bright orange one there being Chanel House there. Our uniform supplier is Bob Stewart, who are located at Uni Hill, or you can just go through via their website as it is on screen. An important word about grooming in our school. Hair must be clean, neatly styled and tied back off the face if it's at shoulder length or below. And you can see with our primary captains there that they are exemplifying how hair should be worn, with our female captain with her longer hair tied back and our male captain with his neat hair there. Extreme hairstyles are not permitted, so this includes dreadlocks, shaved hair less than a number 3 blade, severe variations of hair length or colour, etc. And there are certainly a number of our local hairdressers are well aware of Marymede students and know nothing below a number 3 especially. It must be natural in colour, from the student's natural tonal range, so tips and streaks that are different from their natural colour aren't permitted. And again here we have our 2021 college captains. Apologies that my video is covering them a little bit there. Facial hair, well, doesn't seem like anything that's relevant at the moment for you, but you are signing on for a 13-year journey, so this will become an issue for you, for those of you who have sons. So they do need to be clean shaven at all times, and if they do grow sideburns, if they come back into fashion, then they must not be below the earlobe level. Jewellery. Students are permitted to wear jewellery, but only one small silver or gold sleeper or stud in pierced ears only. So any other visible form of piercing isn't permitted. And that includes clear plastic plugs or band-aids over piercings. There shouldn't be any type of bracelets or anything. They do become a particular OH&S hazard, especially for young students. They can get caught on each other. And whilst a Christian symbol permitted as a simple gold or silver chain or cross around the neck is definitely permitted, you might want to wait until the later years in schooling because, again, young children playing, that can be an issue for them. And makeup, including nail polish, isn't acceptable at any time. Photo day is very early in term 1, so it's really important to make sure that your son or daughter is meeting those guidelines as on the previous screens, because students will actually be excluded from their photos, and that's not something we want to do for particularly their very first photos in prep. So if your child turns up with hair like this, unfortunately, no, they won't be in their prep school photos. And similarly, as much as we might admire some of our footballing heroes and the way they play, we certainly don't want to be emulating the hairstyles that we see with many of them. As a community at Marymede, certainly before 2020, we had wonderful events where we had many parents on site and taking part in many activities. And we certainly hope in 2022, with the increasing vaccination rates, that we're able to have many parents back on site and involved again. We have a range of activities like the Easter Parade, Book Week, classroom reading programs, etc., community mass. And if you have a look at the photo in the top right corner there, that's from one of our house barbecues. So a great chance to get to know other parents and some of the staff as well. With our community mass, you can see from that photo in the middle there, we do actually stream that via Facebook. So that's something where you could actually connect with our community even before your child starts at Marymede. And one of the important parts of that we can see is we love having our students leading the liturgy, leading the readings, etc. One of the wonderful aspects of being at Marymede Catholic College is the involvement of our parents, particularly via the Parents and Friends Committee. Unfortunately, obviously, like everything else over the past couple of years, there hasn't been a lot they've been permitted to do, but that hasn't stopped them from passionately trying to plan all sorts of different events. And you can see one from last year where we ran the colour run. Wonderful activity. You can see the great smile on the student there, although you might also take the advice that if we run the colour run again next year, make sure you do send your child in clothes that you're either willing to do some serious scrubbing on or willing to accept that they might just be tie-dye for the rest of their experience. So the Parents and Friends Committee are a fantastic chance to meet with other parents and find ways that you can contribute to the school. So the colour run, the fete and other things, they're primarily done as fundraising to expand the opportunities for your child in the school, and then to provide things like the Mother's and Father's Day stalls as well, so that you feel very much a part of our community. And the fete is certainly something we're hoping that around this time next year we'll be able to welcome you to. So thank you again for choosing Marymede Catholic College, and for those of you I haven't already met, I look forward to meeting you either later in 2021 or early in 2022.
I'd now like to introduce you to Ms. Jessica Hall, who will speak to you today about learning and teaching at Marymede.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Hall, the Deputy Principal, Learning and Teaching Prep to Year 12 here at Marymede Catholic College. Teaching and learning at Marymede reflects the Victorian Curriculum Framework. The Victorian Curriculum, Foundation through to Year 10, sets out what every student should learn during their first 11 years of schooling. The curriculum is the common set of knowledge and skills required by students for lifelong learning, social development, and active and informed citizenship. Teachers work to develop a scope and sequence of learning progression whilst using data to target their teaching to the individual student's learning needs. Each day is made up of 5 learning sessions in line with the bell times for students in years 7 to 12 to allow for our teachers to teach right across the college from prep to year 12. These sessions will be made up of various learning areas that will be discussed by our learning leaders today. Student learning progress is reported 4 times throughout the year, and there are parent-teacher conversations twice a year. However, we really encourage and promote open communication as we understand how crucial the parent-teacher-student partnership is, particularly as our new preps transition into school. We know that the best learning is going to occur in an environment where students feel happy and safe. Through transition, we begin to establish connections with the positive learning environment here at Marymede, and our aim is to always ensure students engage in activities, that they feel comfortable to give new things a try, and can come home each night with a story to tell, feeling excited to come back to school the next day. In addition to the core learning areas, our prep students are also fortunate enough to be exposed to a number of specialist areas throughout the year. These subjects are taught by specialist teachers for 1 hour per week in most instances. PMP, Italian, and physical education occur for the year, whereas visual arts and performing arts alternate each semester. PMP stands for Perceptual Motor Program and is a movement-based program which helps younger students improve their eye-hand coordination and eye-foot coordination, their fitness, balance, locomotion, and eye tracking skills. Based at the school, the program uses a variety of equipment and focuses on engaging the students in semi-intensive activities. Italian is studied by students right through to Year 7 before they have the opportunity to select between Italian and Japanese. Our visual arts and performing art classes have access to specialised rooms and expert teachers that teach students from prep right through to Year 12. In addition, all children are scheduled to visit the library each week and are encouraged to borrow and read books regularly as a family.
I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Ainsley Dean. She will speak to you today about what our inquiry program looks like in prep.
Hello, my name is Ainsley Dean, and I'm the Marymede Catholic College Learning and Teaching Coordinator for Prep to Grade 6. I'm really excited to be able to share with you a few of the key areas that are part of the engaging and innovative teaching and learning program that we have here at Marymede. At Marymede, we are blessed to be able to provide your children with a wide and varied range of experiences and expertise across the curriculum. From our structured literacy program that ensures students are receiving the highest levels of evidence-based literacy instruction, our rich investigative hands-on mathematics program, as well as our specialist arts and language programs, just to name a few. Our students are immersed in a range of engaging and innovative learning experiences. At Marymede Catholic College, we recognise the importance of students learning by doing and building understandings based on investigations and research. Our integrated units allow students to interact with their environment by handling and investigating objects, carrying out experiments and exploring real-life questions and problems. This inquiry-based learning is student-centred. It's an active learning approach that takes the natural process of inquiry and builds upon that interest in order to develop information processing and problem-solving skills. The focus is on how we know, rather than what we know, with students actively involved in the construction of their own knowledge through their active involvement. Children's literacy and numeracy skills are further developed through these units of inquiry, but are also the tools that allow children to conduct meaningful inquiry. Our strong classroom programs aimed at developing the literacy and numeracy levels of children increasingly enable children to become independent learners through improving their ability to question, inquire, investigate, analyse and present. At the same time, units of inquiry allow the children to utilise those literacy and numeracy skills in a meaningful and relevant context. This integrated inquiry revolves around through lines, which are essential concepts we want students to understand about the world by the time they leave in Year 6. These through lines, while developed in line with the Victorian curriculum, are also what we believe to be representative of our school and community. Therefore, we ensure to provide strong links to religious education and the modelling of the faith-based values that we hold at Marymede Catholic College. We look forward to welcoming your children and yourselves into our Marymede community. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Elizabeth Milani. She will speak to you today about literacy learning in prep.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Milani and I'm the Literacy Coordinator at Marymede for our Prep to Year 4 students. I'd like to take the opportunity to have a little chat to you about what literacy will look like for your prep. Our literacy goals in prep are to support all students in their development of literacy skills required for reading and writing. We want to give all children the best chance of success at learning to read and write. This includes offering additional support for students who require further practice and consolidation, as well as extending those students who have already developed some of the foundational skills required for reading and writing. Our aim is to teach reliable skills and strategies for children to use as they develop into confident and successful readers and writers. And lastly, our aim is to assist children in mastering the basics of learning to read so that they can sooner experience the joys of reading to learn. What is involved in reading? There are two fundamental skills involved when learning to read. The first skill is the ability to lift the words off the page, otherwise known as decoding. And the second skill is the ability to understand, that is our comprehension. Children need to understand the relationship between sounds and letters. Being able to comprehend requires a child to understand the meaning of a word and how words work together. Reading is a complex skill and it takes years to master. The Initial Lit Foundation program is a program that we implement in prep. The Initial Lit program is a research-based program from Multilit. It has been trialled and used in many schools and has shown positive results in helping children to become successful readers and writers. The Initial Lit program uses a sound-by-sound synthetic phonics approach to teach reading. Children are taught the relationship between letters and sounds in a sequential and systematic way, starting with easier skills and working up to more complex skills. The Initial Lit program also includes rich vocabulary instruction and develops children's language and comprehension skills. This is done through the use of quality literature. These storybooks are also used as springboards for writing. Like any skill that we learn in life, for example, a sport or playing a musical instrument, practice makes perfect. Reading and writing are very complex skills, and it will take several years for a child to develop into a proficient reader and writer. So the Initial Lit program ensures lots of opportunities for practice. How can you prepare your child for prep? Read. Read picture storybooks with your child as often as possible. These could be a favourite book from home, a favourite book from your local library, or one of the books that your child brings home from the Marymede Resource Centre. Talk about the words that are used in the story. For example, what does this word sound like? Is there a rhyming word in this book? What does this word mean? Talk about the illustrations with your child. Talk about what happens in the story. For example, you might ask, what was your favourite part? Who are the characters in the story? What do you think this book might be about? Or what do you predict is going to happen next? Please feel free to send along any questions if you have, and I really look forward to working with yourself and with your child in this shared partnership that we have together. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Linda Minahan. She will speak to you today about what numeracy learning looks like in prep.
Hi everyone, my name is Linda Minahan. I am the numeracy coordinator in the primary school at Marymede, and the person your child will see amongst many other teachers as they travel on their learning journey at Marymede. Becoming numerate, being able to apply maths in everyday situations, is a key to success in school and vital for making important decisions as we go through life. In Victoria, we use the Victorian curriculum, which gives us the bones of what your child should achieve as they progress through school. So what is numeracy? Numeracy is the knowledge, skills, behaviours and dispositions that students need in order to use mathematics in a wide range of situations. You are your child's first teacher. Your interactions with your child even before they come to school and the ways that your child interacts with the world and objects with curiosity are instrumental to learning and being numerate. A child's first years are a time of rapid learning and development. Babies and toddlers can recognise numbers and patterns and shapes. They use maths concepts to make sense of their world and connect these concepts with their environment and everyday activities. For example, when playing, children may sort or choose toys according to size, shape, weight, or colour. So often, I get parents worrying about how they can help their child in numeracy. Often anxious families that are worried that their child is not answering questions as fast as their peers, or are worried that their child does not know the answers quick enough. So I want to assure you that you are doing the best for your child in these early stages of their life by allowing them to be curious and explore their world and giving them time to notice how mathematics is part of the world around them. One of the biggest problems that we see in mathematics is what is known as math anxiety. There is actual research out that what you say and how you react to mathematics can have an impact on how your child perceives themselves as a mathematician. So the first thing that you can do as a parent is not to put your fears and anxieties about what or who you perceive yourself to be as a mathematician on your own child. One of the most common things I hear is, I wasn't good at maths also. Often this is front of the child. So I ask you to see maths with new eyes and through the eyes of your child, to allow them to be curious and not jump in with the answer when you think that their answer has not been timely. The greatest damage we do for our children is not giving them the joy to problem solve and come to their own aha moments. Also, to figure out for themselves when there is an error. Mathematics is not about just fluency, but it is also about the learning journey of discovery and problem solving. At Marymede in prep, your child will begin their journey with an assessment at the beginning of the year to get a picture of their personal learning. At this particular time of transition to school. We use the mathematics online interview with one-to-one teacher and student interview times to provide your child with and your teacher with a snapshot of where they are at this particular time at Marymede. In a digital world, your child will have Mathletics account, which they can use at home to consolidate their learning from the key areas of mathematics curriculum. These areas are number and algebra, measurement and geometry, statistics and probability. In the classroom, your child will have numeracy as part of their core teaching experiences 5 times a week. The teachers plan for learning with assessment and knowing your child in mind. This includes extending and supporting your child within the classroom and providing activities that provoke thinking, reasoning, problem solving, and developing fluency. The Discovery program in prep year enhances this with connections to the world that can be explored with connectivity to numeracy. Counting to 5, 10, and 20 are the first steps towards flexibility with number, pattern, and order. By the end of prep year, the students will have explored these patterns to 20, along with making and breaking numbers with a variety of models, language, and representations. So when we are talking about numbers to 20, we are talking about being able to manipulate number to develop conceptual understanding using a wide variety of strategies. This being only a small insight into the exploration with number, patterns, geometry, statistics, and probability that your child will begin to explore in the school setting. So for advice that I offer you for your child as they begin their journey at Marymede in numeracy, the best thing you can do for them is allow them to be curious, invest in making connections through walking and talking about the things your children experience through play, and bring joy and a sense of wonder to what they see and do in the world around them.
I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Rosemary Bennett. She will speak to you today about learning diversity.
Oh, good evening, everyone. It's great to be able to talk to you for a few minutes on this prep information night, although it looks very different from the way we usually do it. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Rosemary Bennett and I'm the Learning Enhancement Coordinator at Marymede from students from prep to year 4. My role specifically at the college is to support children with additional needs. They may have needs in learning areas, or they could have a sensory need, or perhaps they have a physical disability, and sometimes students need support with social and emotional issues as well. So that's my role in the college. Primarily I work with teachers to help them to understand the students' needs and to make adjustments for them so that they can really reach their potential and move along the developmental continuum. We have various student support systems in place. Often I support teachers to come up with specific targeted teaching groups. so that we can help children to reach their learning goals. Sometimes we provide specialist intervention groups in literacy, numeracy or social skills. And in some instances, students get support from learning support officers who are trained to work with children, and we also work very closely with other specialists and doctors and providers like speech therapists and physios. So there's a lot that we can do to support students who need just a little bit of an extra push with their learning. If your child has a disability or a delay, or you think that they may have a learning issue, or you'd like some more information about what the Learning Enhancement Centre offers, please reach out and get in touch with me. My email is rosemary.bennett@marymede.vic.edu.au. I have already met a lot of you, and that's been really great. So we're here for you if you need us. Welcome to the college, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Letitia Malusu. She will speak to you today about our religious education program in PrEP.
Hello everyone, my name is Letitia. I am the Religious Education Coordinator of Primary at Marymede Catholic College. Faith and religious education are a fundamental part of our identity as we are a Catholic college. We seek to develop the spirituality of our students as they journey through the life of the college, and this starts right from PrEP. This spirituality is developed through a variety of ways. We offer Mass, liturgies at various times of the year, and opportunities for daily prayer for all staff and students. We are lucky to have with us Father John Murphy, who is our college chaplain. Father John supports this spiritual development through attending classes whenever required, as well as offering Mass on Wednesdays every morning at 8 a.m. Families and wider members of our communities are most welcome to attend Mass at these times on Wednesdays. We also have opportunities where students take part in catechism towards receiving one of 3 sacraments in a year. These are the sacraments of reconciliation, the sacrament of First Eucharist, and the sacrament of confirmation. Families are heavily involved in this preparation, as are staff and students. Our staff and students also take part in a range of charity organizations where we support them in different ways that include monetary support or offering goods and services. Examples are Project Compassion, the Mini Vinnie's Drive, the Winter Appeal, as well as supporting various house charities that our students belong to. Finally, our religious education program contributes to the spiritual development. We encourage our learners to be critical and creative thinkers, as well as applying an inquiry approach towards religious education. We acknowledge and welcome the fact that all our families come from various spiritual backgrounds. This is quite important in enriching our spiritual tapestry, as the discussions that are shared are enriching for our students. We welcome the students' opportunities to share their learnings and their traditions based on their own faith practices. We hope that this information has proved valuable in relation to religious education and the faith life of the college. We can't wait to see all the contributions that you will make as members of our Catholic community. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce you to Ms. Narelle Collins. She will speak to you today about some of the communication platforms you'll need to become familiar with.
Good afternoon, parents of our 2022 Foundation students. We're really looking forward to welcoming you on campus one of these days very soon. My name's Narelle Collins and I'm the Director of Students Prep to 4. Last time when I spoke to you, I really wanted to give you that warm welcome and share with you that we're really open to working with you in partnership. And of course, as I said, the fundamental building block of that partnership will be communication. So Marymede, being an organisation with over 200 staff and over 1,000 students, our aim is to provide you guys with a tailored experience and a personal experience. And, you know, we want you to know that we know your child and we are willing and wanting to work with you to get the very best outcomes we can for your child. And with that, communication is a key priority for us. So I just wanted to talk to you about what you can expect from the school in terms of the channels that we use for communication with our families. The primary source of communication from the college will be through your child. Here you can see some of our previous prep students with their teacher, Ms. Mari, all of them eagerly listening, learning, and really making the most of their school day. And hopefully some of them will come home and they'll want to share with you about the positive experiences they've had through the day. Some children are not as forthcoming in sharing what's happening in their school day, and other children will sometimes, and your child might sometimes come home and have experienced something which may have upset them in the playground, or from time to time, for example, if they've put their hand up and they haven't been called upon to answer a question. Little things like that can be potentially distressing for little children as they're learning to navigate playtime and learning in the classroom with other students. And so we're really keen to support parents with this aspect of communication with your child. We'll actually be having a guest speaker, Georgina Manning, who we're going to be inviting you to join us for an online parent session. It's going to be held on the 27th of October, and the focus of that will be to help parents and support parents, not just of our 2022 preps, but students already at the college, to support children in developing resilience and helping them build confidence so that they can negotiate playtimes and learning times in a resilient and confident manner. So that parent session is going to be held on the 27th of October, and we will be distributing further information about that in the coming days, so please keep an eye on your inbox. Which brings me to my next point, which is that email is also a really important channel of communication for us here at the school. As you can see in the photograph of the classroom, the teachers are 100% engaged in teaching and learning for the most part of the day. Unlike other workplace settings where workers may have access to their email throughout the day, our staff are actually unable to check email during classroom learning time, and at yard times they have yard duties, and they're catching up with other staff members to plan for the remainder of the day, and they also have a very busy schedule of meeting and professional learning time after the learning day finishes. So once the students go home, staff are often ensconced in meetings in the afternoons. So we just want you to be aware of that. If you're wanting to contact the school, email is the best option. You may not get a response as an immediate response, but we do endeavour to respond to all emails from parents within a 24-hour period. So please use the email. Classroom teacher is the first point of call, And if you wish to meet with the classroom teacher, then still make the initial contact via email, and an appointment will be set up at a time that's going to work for both parties. We like to provide many opportunities for parents to meet with teachers and staff members. So on that, I just wanted to share with you that we've got various times of the year that are put aside, including the Meet the Teacher at the beginning of the prep year. We'll also have startup interviews throughout primary school in term 1. We'll have progress interviews that occur at the beginning of term 3. If your child needs extra support, you will also be involved in parent support group meetings with various team members here at the school. And other parent meetings can be scheduled, as I mentioned on the previous slide. So definitely welcome time to talk to parents about their child, resolve any concerns, answer any questions, and really work together with you to support your child with their journey here at Marymede. In non-COVID times, we've always been welcoming of parents for year level assemblies, various liturgies throughout the year, and masses, and other celebrations such as the end of year celebrations of learning. So we're hoping to get back to be able to invite parents back in to some of these events as we move forward, and that's something that we're really hoping for, and we're looking forward to working with the community to build safe ways of bringing some of those activities back into college life. Written reports are sent to families 4 times per year. There are 2 per semester. Here in the picture you can see an example of a page from a semester report which you would receive at the end of a semester. And you'll see in this particular example there's a breakdown of skills in literacy and numeracy, and a dot indicating your child's progression in those areas. So that's the type of your report that you would receive at the end of each semester. Mid-semester, there's also an interim report. It's just a brief report that gives you an indication of how your child is travelling in terms of their learning disposition, if they're engaging in their work, how they're tracking with their classroom behaviour and organisation, and those types of behaviours that constitute a positive learning disposition. So you would expect to receive those reports via PAM. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about our parent access module on the next slide. So here on the left-hand side, you can see the cutout of our parent access module login screen. So you'll receive those login details, and this parent access module that we call PAM for short gives all parents access to historical reports on their child's file and other pertinent information that relates to your child and their attendance at Marymede. So you will receive those login details. That's something for you to look out for going forward. And then also you'll receive a login for Operoo. We use Operoo to manage our medical records for all of our students, as well as permission for excursions and activities that the children might be involved in. So we do ask that you please provide up-to-date information via Operoo so that we can always be sure that the medical records that we have for your child are up to date. Finally, just wanting to let you know about Seesaw. We've been using Seesaw for our remote learning periods here at the school. It's a fantastic platform that's really helped us to get through all of the remote learning experiences. So I know some of you have already been using it, and if you will need to use it again in the future, you will definitely receive the login details for that as well in 2022. So that's a wrap of the various platforms and channels that we use for communication with our parents. Of course, you're always welcome to pick up the phone and contact the school. Our friendly reception staff are really amazing, and they are very, very helpful. So you can always do that and you will be directed accordingly. And you're very welcome to email me or call me at the school, of course, if there's anything at all that I can help you with. So on that note, I will now pass it back to the next presenter, and thank you once more for joining us for this information session, and I really do look forward to meeting you in person as soon as we are able to do so. Thank you.
Tuesday the 7th of December is Prep Step Up Day. Step Up Day is an opportunity for the Prep 2022 cohort to join the Prep teachers and their new peers for a story, a play and some fun. This year's transition program has been somewhat disrupted due to COVID. However, I'm remaining hopeful that we will be able to welcome your children to participate on this day. Of course, if there are any changes to the proposed plans, these will be communicated to you. On Tuesday the 1st and Wednesday the 2nd of February, you will have an opportunity to meet your child's teacher. During this time, your child will be welcomed into their new classroom. Their teacher will show them where to put their bag, where their special seating spots are, and will also have some time to speak to you about some of the important dates and routines to be aware of during those first weeks of school. You will also have some time to ask any questions you may have. Please bring along all labelled stationery items to this meeting. Thursday the 3rd of February and Friday the 4th of February will be your child's first days at school. They will be in attendance between 8:40 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Your child is required to wear their full school uniform and have a packed fruit and recess snack. Full days at school, which are between 8:40 a.m. and 3:15 p.m, commence from Monday the 7th of February. From Thursday the 3rd of February until Friday the 25th of February, the Prep House will be running soft start from 8:40 a.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. This means that parents and caregivers are welcome to drop their child off at the Prep House doors anytime between 8:40 a.m. and 9 o'clock a.m. The purpose of this is to promote a more positive start to the day for your child. Some students can become overwhelmed or anxious when there is too much noise or when they see other students who may be upset. They can also become overwhelmed when they're having to wait for long periods of time to enter the Prep House. Our soft start helps to minimise this as students' arrivals are spread across 20 minutes. Your child will be met at the Prep House doors by either their teacher or a Prep teacher helper who will help them to their classroom. Beginning Monday the 28th of February, students will begin lining up on the Prep lawn from 8:40 a.m. On Wednesday the 9th, 16th and 23rd of February, the Prep teachers will be conducting early literacy and numeracy assessments with your child. These assessments guide learning and teaching and give your child's teacher a snapshot into what your child knows and where to next with their learning. You will be required to book an appointment for your child on one of the Wednesdays listed above. Prep children do not attend school on a Wednesday unless it is for an assessment interview. You will receive further information on how to book an appointment later in the year. We've put together an information pack with some resources you may find helpful in the lead up to and during your child's first year of school. You'll find information about the importance of developing and maintaining good sleeping habits. A good night's sleep is essential during those first years as it will ensure your child is ready for learning and can keep up with the demands of a very busy day at school. You'll also find some information about what to expect as your child navigates school-age friendships and the big emotions that may come along with this. This can be a very tricky time for our preps, so it's important that you equip yourself with some tools so you're able to support your child when they have trouble navigating these very new experiences. There is also some information about our out-of-school hours care program and our school canteen. Information about school uniforms and book lists will be provided later in the year. We've also included some resources for your child so they can continue their learning about letters and numbers. They'll receive a personalised template of their name, numbers 0 to 10, as well as uppercase and lowercase alphabet letters. These templates have been laminated, which means they can be used over and over again. Have your child use the whiteboard marker provided in the pack to practice their letters, their numbers, or writing their name. Once they're finished, they can wipe it down with an alcohol-based wipe and it's ready to go again. Your child will also receive an alphabet desk strip. We encourage you to use this in order to support your child's learning of letter names and sounds. Your child will become familiar with the characters associated with each of the letters as they engage in our Initialate program. In your pack, you will also receive a copy of the PREP 2022 starting dates. This outlines all the key dates that we have spoken about today. In the lead up to school, we ask that you start engaging in some simple activities that will build your child's school readiness skills, promote independence, and a more positive experience during those first weeks at school. On the document titled Preparing for Prep in 2022, you will find some skill-building activities that your child can begin doing at home. We ask that you support your child to choose to complete one activity per day and spend a little more time on those skills they may require more time to practice. Lastly, you will also find a copy of our social story. The purpose of this story is to give your child an insight into what their school day will be like and introduce them to some of the faces they may see in the prep house. Read the story to or with your child as often as they like. There is also an opportunity for your child to respond to the story through drawings. Please encourage them to only use pencils and crayons as they won't seep through. As always, I thoroughly enjoy receiving your emails showcasing your child's wonderful work. Please feel free to email any photos to myself or Carolyn. Thank you for joining us for our PREP 2022 information session. I do hope you found the information valuable and it has given you a little insight into PREP and what it will look like for your child. If you do have any questions about anything you've seen today, please feel free to contact Carolyn Key, our school registrar. Please stay safe and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.